For millions of Gen Z men, the divide isn't about judging single mothers. It is about a silent equation that gets solved in seconds. Investment versus reward. Every canceled date, every plan that bends to someone else's schedule adds to a mental ledger. The real question isn't who's right or wrong, it is why, when faced with these costs, so many quietly walk away. The answer starts here. The moment a man learns a potential partner is a single mother, a silent calculation begins. 4 categories stand out: time, money, emotional energy, and life flexibility. Each one gets weighed, often in seconds. He considers how dates could be limited by custody schedules, how his income might stretch to cover more than just 2 people, and how his emotional reserves will go toward navigating a family structure that already exists. Even if he never says it out loud, this mental ledger shapes his reaction. Studies show attraction can drop sharply once children enter the picture. On dating apps, men are far less likely to match or message when a profile mentions children. With each new cost, the balance tilts. For many, the feeling is not anger or judgment. It is a quiet sense that the numbers just do not add up. Marcus, a 32-year-old engineer, thought he'd found a genuine connection with someone he met on a dating app. But after 3 weeks, the pattern set in. Friday night plans were canceled at the last minute. Her babysitter got sick. A Saturday hike was postponed because her youngest had a fever. Even a simple dinner became a rushed takeout on her couch. Kids in the next room, the conversation broken by bedtime routines. Marcus never doubted her devotion as a mother. What wore him down was the constant reshuffling, the sense that his place in her life was always negotiable. Spontaneity vanished. Every date required advanced planning, backup plans, and a willingness to step aside for sudden changes. Over time, the excitement faded and was replaced by quiet resignation. He found himself investing full effort but receiving only fragments of her time and attention. A slow drift made him question why he kept showing up. James learned quickly that dating a single mother meant sharing space with someone he would never actually meet, her ex. Every week brought a new round of texts about school drop-offs, medical appointments, and last-minute schedule changes. On a cold February night, James was eating dinner with her when her phone buzzed. Her ex was stranded, their son had a fever, and she needed to go. She apologized, grabbed her keys, and left James alone at the table. He sat there, food cooling, realizing this was not a one-time event. Emergencies like these did not just interrupt plans. They made him feel like an outsider in his own relationship. The ex was not a memory to move past. He was a permanent fixture, always present through group chats, shared calendars, and decisions that never included James. Over time, it became clear he was not building something new. He was orbiting a family system that would never fully be his. Financial baggage stands out first. Child support payments often shrink her disposable income, leaving less room for shared experiences or future plans. Extra costs pile up, such as school supplies, sports fees, and doctor visits, averaging over $1,000 a year, even for one child. Financial pressure changes what a couple can do together. Next comes logistics. Custody schedules dictate when she is available, splitting holidays and weekends between households. A spontaneous trip or even a simple overnight is rarely possible without weeks of advanced planning and the approval of an ex or a court order. Logistics mean less flexibility and more coordination. Emotional baggage follows closely. Breakups and custody battles leave scars, old hurts, trust issues, and a wariness about letting someone new in. Emotional scars affect how open and available she can be. Finally, there is the question of judgment. Men quietly wonder about the choices that led to her situation. Was her past partner reckless, or did she ignore warning signs? The fear lingers that the same patterns could repeat. Judgment questions pile onto the ledger, and each debit is hard to ignore. Robert spent more than a decade helping raise 3 children who were not his. He cheered at soccer games, paid for braces, and stayed up late with them on school nights. Each year he told himself there would be time for his own family later. But as birthdays passed, the window for biological children grew smaller. Now in his 40s, Robert feels a quiet grief. The energy he poured into another man's children cannot be reclaimed, and starting over feels out of reach. Evolutionary psychology suggests this ache is not selfishness. It is a deep-rooted drive to see his own legacy continue, a longing that biology does not let him ignore. David spent 5 years raising 2 boys as his own. From school pickups to late-night science projects. He paid for summer camps, worried over fevers, and was listed as an emergency contact. He took on the daily responsibilities of parenting, and he did it as if he were their father. But when the relationship ended, his connection to the kids vanished overnight. In most states, step-parents have no automatic rights, no custody, no visitation, not even a legal avenue to stay in touch unless the biological parents agree. all the responsibilities of fatherhood, but none of the protections. For David, the loss felt like a second divorce, but this time the law saw him as a stranger. The risk is real. Years of investment can be erased in a single day. Respect in these relationships goes beyond manners. It is about where a man fits in the family. Men dating single mothers often find themselves on the outside, their authority ignored by children, their role undercut by the ex, and their presence barely acknowledged by extended family still loyal to the original father. When a man senses he is temporary or easily replaced, the status that once made commitment appealing starts to fade. For many men, feeling chosen and having priority matters, especially early on. If that feeling is missing, attraction and long-term commitment weaken. For Gen Z and younger millennials, this is not simply accepted. Online, boundary setting and self-respect have become central topics. Men now ask what they are receiving in return, and many leave if they feel dismissed or undervalued. The old idea that a man should simply endure whatever comes his way is losing ground. Today, self-sacrifice without reciprocity is seen as a losing proposition, not a virtue. The outcome is a new cultural stance. If respect and priority are not mutual, the relationship is not worth the risk. Today, honesty about trade-offs drives dating more than ever. As expectations shift, clarity, not blame, shapes who connects and who walks away. The new math leaves no room for illusions.